Nearly there. Okay, thank you very much for coming along today. The first sort of formal update this time, and I'll leave it up to you to go through it.
Thank you very, very much, Councillor Templeton and councillors. We really appreciate the opportunity. We know you've had a long meeting and we're kind of the last gasp for you, but we're going to give you a little update and highlights. I understand you've got the presentation, which is great, so you may have had a chance to have a look at it or can afterwards. I've got a number of my team, or our team here, who are going to contribute to this, and I'm going to kick off with Kai Whakahaere Maori Aurelia Orona, who's going to give you a little overview of both Maori and multicultural initiatives. Aurelia has then she's got to go after she's spoken, so our apologies for that, but I think you'll really enjoy hearing from her. So I'll hand over to Aurelia to start with, and actually I better move forward.
Mauri ora ki te whare, mauri ora ki te whenua, mauri ora ki a tātou. Me mihi ka tika ki ngā mana whenua o tēnei takiwā ara ko ngai tua huriri, nō reira kei te mihi kia kōtau. Ko wai tēnei e tū mai ana he uri ahau no Ngāpuhi ko Aurelia Arona tōku ingoa, nei rā tāku mihi atu kia koutou katoa. Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Good morning, my name's Aurelia Arona. It's a privilege and a pleasure to be here. I'm the manager of Maori Services, but actually within my team we have two work streams. We have both Maori and multicultural. We have specialist staff who work in both work streams. Our kaitako wainga specialise in the design and delivery of kaupapa Māori public programs, delivered in te reo Māori or English across all age ranges. Examples of current programs include a kohanga outreach program where we deliver early literacy programming in te reo Māori, Ngā Paki Waitara, a regular Māori language storytime session with attendees who come from across the city every week. Visits by the Rehua Kaumātua group, whose only complaint when they come to visit us is that I haven't bought those mattresses yet, so they can't have a sleepover. We're currently working on a collaboration with the University of Canterbury and Te Pā o Rākai Hautu on a Māori STEAM project. And of course we're working on our regular upcoming Matariki celebrations in June. Our paukohikohinga Māori specialise in reference and research inquiries, including whakapapa research, information literacy and school-based visits around our collections. Recently we've been working with a lovely man trying to rediscover his whakapapa. He had one name for us to work from when he came in. Over past months we've been able to find information and connect him back to his trust board and marae. Last Friday, he and his 80-year-old grandmother flew to Taranaki to be reunited with their whānau in Hapu after generations away. He said, "Staff really took me under their wing, showed a lot of patience and compassion. It got rather emotional for me. I just wanted to say how much I appreciate what a gift has been given to me and my whānau." Key partners whom we have worked alongside since July on various projects and initiatives include Te Runanga o Ngaitahu Archives team and the Whakapapa unit, Rehua Marae, the Māori Land Court, Te Puni Kōkiri, Mātauraka Mahanui, Te Taumotu Runanga and the Ka Au Kahuraki multi-agency collective impact project that's being scaled across the east at present. Our multicultural initiatives are aligned to the multicultural strategy, in particular goals 2 and 4. The program and event focus and community liaison aspects of the Multicultural Liaison Coordinator and the Pacifica outreach roles enable us to work more effectively with our communities. Lunar New Year celebrations were held in February. We partnered with the Confucius Institute and ran after-school programs, bilingual story times and bedtime stories. Lulette also coordinated an event with 17 groups from the Chinese and Korean community participating and performing on the day. Culturally informed holiday programs are offered throughout the year and there is regular attendance at informed meetings. Partnering opportunities that we have worked on in the last financial year include the DIA, Office of Ethnic Affairs, the Chinese Cultural Association of New Zealand and the Japanese Consulate. The Pacifica outreach role is a new role to my team. This role and an additional kaitako wainga role have been funded by the New Zealand Libraries Partnership Program COVID Relief Fund and are fixed term until June 2022. The role has been operating for 2 months and already we are seeing improved connection with the wider Pacifica community. There has been involvement with Riccarton High School Parents Pacifica Night, The key highlight of the night, according to the attendees, was when they realised Teresa understood Fa'a Samoa and could speak in language, so there was genuine inclusion for them at the evening, and being able to understand what our service offer is and how they might engage with that. Polyfest, we had a stall at this event with over 500 people visiting the stall. It's really good for us to be out and visible in our communities where our communities can see us. And the last group that I want to talk about is the Matua group, which provides a time and space for Pacifica elders to come together while creating craft. Sessions are held at Tūranga, Aranui and South Libraries. But the interesting thing with this program is that there's been an intergenerational evolution over time. So now we have younger women coming to join in with elders, and it's just, it's enriching. It's enriching for all attendees. And I guess the last thing I wanted to say was when we talk about resilience and we look at research across different sectors, it's clear, education, health, that cultural identity and cultural connectedness are key protective factors when it comes to resilience and strengthening communities. And I know that my team and we're grateful that we can serve our communities in our roles here. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Aurelia. I really appreciate that. We're going to just keep on going. If you have questions that you'd like to ask of Aurelia, happy to take those later and we can come back to you. So thank you very, very much for that. So handing over to Rosie Levy now. Rosie is stepping in for initially for Chris Hay as Tūranga manager. Chris couldn't be here today. He sends his apologies. So she's going to initially give a little update on Tūranga and some of the programming and events and activities going on there. And then she's going to talk about digital inclusion and some other topics. Rosie's job, her role is as one of the 2 community libraries managers. So Rosie, thank you.
Tala for everyone. Tūranga.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I'm lagging behind, sorry.
Okay. We're a destination, a place for people to access reference and lending collections. We provide learning opportunities, hands-on access to technology and other resources. We offer spaces where our citizens can come together socially and for entertainment. And the library is an appealing venue for partners to deliver their events. Last December, the New Zealand Opera held a performance of 8 songs for a Mad King. And that's the left-hand photo there, on Hapori outside the TSB space. These types of events help drive up use of library collections, and they give people one more reason to come to Tūranga. Earlier this month, we had a locally developed autonomous electric aircraft on display next to the cafe. Our book issues and our visitor numbers more than doubled over these 2 days. So the events help grow the usage of wider library services, and they bring people into town. We continue to work with partners to make more of this happen. Coming up next month, we're part of the Open Christchurch series. We'll be hosting free engineering tours with the team who designed the seismic systems, behind-the-scene tours with librarians, a children's cardboard city making workshop, and architecture-themed book displays. And of course, we will be a key venue partner for the Word Festival in August. Library teams are focused on doing everything we can to build on and reinforce the role of Tūranga as your centre of knowledge and exploration. That was on behalf of Chris Hay. And now I'll be speaking about Hornby. So, Hornby is coming in 2022, and we are at a stage where we are engaging with our community around programming and services. We want to be able to hear from the local schools. We want to be able to hear from community stakeholders about what they want to see in regards to these services. So some of the library services that could be on offer include sewing machines, design direct-to-garment technology. So that's that whole technology where you can print straight onto a t-shirt or pillowcase instead of the iron-on transfers. So that'd be great for that community. 3D printers, a laser cutter, virtual reality, esports, a whole lot of different programs that we want to be able to offer out in this space. So the engagement that we're looking to do will be beginning at the end of June. So that's Hornby update. Final update for me will be around digital inclusion. So we have two programs that I'm going to speak about. RAD, we have a partnership with RAD, who is Recycle a Device Scheme, and they are a scheme where used corporate laptops are refurbished by school students, and in this case it's Christchurch Boys High School, who refurbish these laptops, and then they are placed into the hands of those who can't afford them. And just some of the stories that we've been able to collect back has been around a young mum who has 3 kids under 5, has received her laptop, and she'll be studying interior design. A direct quote from her is, "For the first time in years, I am excited about what this year will bring, and this laptop will enable me to study, which I haven't been able to do with my kids so far." Another young woman is exiting a abuse situation, and she is using her laptop to study and make a new start. And finally, another young man, disabled, will be using his laptop to attend ARA and start a computing course there. The other initiative that we've been doing in our libraries is working with Skinny Jump, and this is giving access to our customers both to subsidised broadband, and we have had to date 670 Skinny sign-ups, and this particular team, Linwood, they were the highest jumpers in February, and they won a morning tea, so the highest signing on of modems in the whole of New Zealand. So that's something to be proud of. And also that the Skinny Jump was a very popular program that was taken up during the lockdown last year. Thanks for.
Fantastic. Yeah. Thank you very much, Rosie. That's great. I'm going to pass on now to Erica Rankin, who's going to continue. Erica is the other community libraries manager, so both Erica and Rosie have approximately half the libraries in our network, half the community libraries, each under their wing.
Kia ora everyone, it's lovely to be here today. I'm just very briefly going to talk to you about a couple of things going on in my area. This will be the 6th year that we've run the Reading to Dogs program. It's incredibly popular and it's run at 3 of our libraries, currently New Brighton, Shirley and Papanui. We've built a great relationship with the animal management team to provide this service, and the program's got a really successful profile. Recently, Metropole magazine ran an article on a book written by Sue Allison it was called Friends Indeed. It's about assistance dogs, and this is what she said about what the program means to one of our young participants. She said, "Young Juno's reading flourished when she joined the New Brighton Library's Reading to Dogs program, because the dogs don't notice when I get a word wrong." And so that's obviously the picture with the dog who's so relaxed, he's obviously gone to sleep on the left. And the photo on the right is, sorry, it's not a particularly good one, but that photo there is of a program running at Aranui Library at the moment for the 2 weeks of the school holidays. We've recently been evaluating the sorts of programs that we're running at Aranui. Some of our more the ones that work everywhere else don't work so well at Aranui, and we've been trying really hard to hit the spot. So some of these things that I'm going to tell you about are hitting the spot. This is a session here run by the Creative Trust. So we do this in partnership with the Creative Trust. It's a drop-in session, and we're finding that drop-ins work really, really well at Aranui. The sessions where people ring up and book in just don't work. It offers a number of digital technology activities for all ages, stages and learning capabilities, and it's been wonderful to see families interacting with each other over these activities. The staff say that they've heard parents asking their kids to show them how to do some of the activities too, so families working together is really wonderful. One father was so engaged, they said, in one of these sessions that he was there with several children of different, older and younger. The younger ones and the dad were so keen on what they were doing that they ignored the pleas of the older girls who wanted to go swimming next, because they were so into what they were doing there and what they were learning. Initially, as often happens at Aranui when we run programming, some of the children weren't keen to go in and participate. They sit back and watch. But as soon as they saw what the ones who'd put themselves forward were doing, they were really, really keen, and they all come in now, and it's going really, really well. Staff said it's great to see the kids coming back also to challenge themselves to see if they can get up to the next level. So, and other programs we've found, as I said, we're trying some different things. Other programming which is working really well at Aranui involve drawing and music in particular, and the use of GarageBand and the DJ decks that we have in the libraries are, really sort of going off, as they say, so hitting the spot. So more work to be done in that space, but really pleased with what we're doing there. Thank you.
Thanks, Erica. To pass on now to Elaine. Elaine Sides is our Manager of Content Collections for Christchurch City Libraries. This is content in all its formats, print, digital, and everything in between. So Elaine's just going to give you a little update.
Kia ora. I'm going to focus on 3 areas of content: Canterbury Stories, the Discovery Wall, and the library's website. Collecting the city's memory is an important function of the library. In the digital space, we've been supporting the implementation of the heritage strategy in 3 ways: the ongoing digitisation of fragile and popular material held in our archives collection, adding material to Canterbury Stories, our digital heritage repository, and providing users with the opportunity to create their own content and publish this in Discovery Wall. Canterbury Stories was launched 15 months ago using open source technology. Since then, we have added over 25,000 rare images and previously unpublished community and personal records and made these publicly accessible. It is fast becoming a valuable portal to the past. Many photographs have come from city photographer Doc Ross, the Orion, or the old MED infrastructure archive, the Christchurch Star archive, and the library's own heritage collection. Among the rarities is the New Zealand Wheelman, a very fragile publication on cycling in the 1890s, and the Samuel Anstey collection of over 1,200 glass plate negatives from the early 1900s. Using Canterbury Stories, we've been able to create digital exhibitions, including one to commemorate the earthquakes, and to provide access to community-contributed collections through our stories. Users can add comments to existing images and create their own sets of images to share publicly or privately using material held in the repository. With local developers Catalyst, we are working towards enabling users to add their own content directly into Canterbury Stories. Meanwhile, we will continue to describe as much material as is possible so that those previously hidden treasures become available 24/7. Photo Hunt provides a significant contribution to the Discovery Wall. Last year, 21% of all our entries were uploaded directly into Discovery Wall. This was a considerable increase on previous years, where most entries were sent in for staff to scan and upload. The Discovery Wall holds over 13,500 images, and these can be interacted with at Turanga, the mobile wall as it moves around the library network, or through the Discovery Wall website. Engaging with the community has been enhanced through funding received from the government-based New Zealand Libraries Partnership Program, and this has enabled us to employ someone temporarily in a community stories liaison role to encourage community groups or individuals to share their stories and in time support them to upload their material into Canterbury Stories independently. This initiative has also given us the opportunity to identify gaps in our collection and proactively seek material to reflect the ever-increasing diversity in our communities. The library's website is the gateway to all that we offer in libraries. It gives us the ability to interact with the catalogue by tagging items with comments, giving us the ability to link large numbers of electronic databases we have to supplement our physical collections. It also offers various predetermined searches created to assist users to find new titles, and we have refreshed numerous book lists and genre guides to support that perennial question, can you please recommend a good book? In today's ever-changing circumstances, it is more important than ever to provide communities with content relevant to their needs and to continue to offer choice. So that's the end of our presentation today.
I'm
Sorry.
Sorry,
My
I'm very
mistake.
conscious of time, Madam Chair. You will. Thank you very much, Elaine, for cutting in on you. You will see Pat Street prepared a couple of slides on program highlights. You've got those in the presentation. If you'd like me to talk to them, so that's about the summer reading challenge, particularly in Children's University and esports. I can either say something or you can look at that at your leisure. Just be guided by you.
I'm just looking at time.
Yes.
Maybe if you're able to see the information.
That information is in your PowerPoint in the presentation that I understand you've got access to.
We see the written stuff under as well.
Yes, sorry, yes, you haven't got it. Yes, there are notes underneath with pretty much the descriptions of it.
We'll just make sure we get the formatting so we can see those.
Oh,
We can only see the actual slides.
I see.
Not the notes that
We will make. Thank you. We'll make sure that you get access. Yes, I'll liaise with Aidan to do that. Sorry about that. Just so that they are also very important initiatives that we've been doing. But I'm aware that we've taken a fair bit of your time.
That's lovely. Do we have any questions?
The discovery wall, is there an ongoing cost associated with using that technology, or where do you see it going? I was just interested.
We have there is money that's put toward the platform fees for it. The actual content we create ourselves, but we have to pay for the platform that it's available through.
And is that sort of meeting the expectations still that we thought it would when we got it? Or, I mean, just from a general observation, when I go in, I don't see as many people using it as I saw when it first got put in. And I was also interested in what was happening with the community one.
Right, so we'll start with the mobile wall, goes around the network, so it spends a month at each different library, so there's a structured program that goes there, and so we have staff being able to show users how to use it. It's also as a way of promoting the Discovery Wall website, which people can actually go in and add the material to. And so it is also then we can move material from Discovery Wall into Canterbury Stories, as well as put new stuff into it as well. So those two, Canterbury Stories and the Discovery Wall, interact with each other. So.
Yeah.
Councillor Johansson, we could provide some updated usage figures.
I think that would be quite interesting.
If you would like. Yes, that's right. We haven't focused so much on the stats today, but we can add that to our notes if you like.
And I guess just the other thing in terms of the Discovery Wall, like it just seems to me such a shame. We're doing an LTP engagement. You've got this big wall where you could have amazing messages about what we're doing, but it doesn't seem to ever be used to do stuff like that. So I just wondered, is there any opportunity to use the Discovery Wall and the smaller one for what we would call public service announcements or, community messaging to encourage people to participate?
We're using, I can see Diane's wanting to answer this as well. Where did that come from? We're using our e-screens, our digital screens throughout the libraries really more for that purpose, whereas the Discovery Wall is primarily about surfacing, making accessible our digital collections and content and those stories and images that the community wish to share with us.
There has been some really lovely stories of people finding a picture of someone in their family and then adding information about that picture, who else is in there, so it encourages engagement. And I can be standing there looking, and then the next thing Carolyn's there doing the same thing, and we're looking at the same thing. So there is that engagement and the whole story about, do you remember this? Oh yes, I do, kind of thing. So that is happening, but I am also aware that sometimes you can come in and there isn't a lot happening in Turanga, but it's only one part of Discovery Wall.
I'm getting increasing feedback from people because everything's going to the web now, that they're not seeing stuff at either libraries or at council in terms of ongoing consultations and engagements. So it'd be really interesting to see the LTP figures. Unfortunately, Linwood Library was closed during the consultation, and we know that area, and you showed it with the digital inclusion information, is one of the areas where people struggle to get digital access. So I was just really interested in what we can do to be more create more visibility of the engagements that we're doing that impact on people through the libraries, and I guess I just see it's a bit of a gap and could be
So maybe
improved.
some information on that in the next report.
Thank you
Next
for that
upstage.
feedback. That's
Yeah.
really good. We'll
Yeah.
pick up on that.
So just remember for people, if you flick through feedback on the
Yeah,
types
okay.
of content and the format and
And we
stuff
did give that to our
Aidan.
comm staff who were engaging on the LTP,
Yeah.
so it might be good to hear back from them what they did with libraries, but certainly just from my general observation, I didn't see the level that I would have hoped.
Okay, thank you very much. So thank you so much for coming in today.
You're
and-
very welcome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, and keep up the good work, and we'll. I'm going to bring up the wheelman very shortly. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Kia ora.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
And we'll just finish the meeting with Anne and a karakia.
Nā mai, me mahi tahi tātou mo te oranga o te katoa